Today on a front row, we zero in on an age-old concern of the people of Virgin Gorda that remains today, plugging tourism dollars to benefit the island directly. Drip drip wears a rock away. Residents of the island fear the worst as infrastructure worsens before their eyes. These and more concerns that came up among residents at a recent meeting of the minds.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
Ophia. Hi, I'm Cowboy, and I'm running for president of Stake. Thank you. And I will meet your needs. Some bathrooms are so expensive to build, they come with security. But at Staycation Butchers, our meats are affordable. People always ask me, Cowboy, where does your salmon come from? Well, our salmon comes from the water. A vote for Cowboy is a vote for quality, integrity, and consistency. So come into Staycation Butchers and cast your vote for me, your next president of Steak. Alexandra Durant approves this message.
No, I don't.
Now for the details. Wednesday, May 3, 2023, a group of residents gathered at the Catholic Community Center at Virgin Gorda. Their mission was to brainstorm ideas and initiatives to effect changes, much to the benefit of residents, visitors, and tourists alike.
We need, or the government needs to find a way for the ministries to work together, because water and sewage and public work both fall under the Ministry of Communication and Works. And as soon as public works pave, water and sewage dig up. Why can these two departments work together? And we sit here and, water and sewage get a lot of slack. But when you sit there, you feel the pressure. The guys or the staff has limited resources. You beg till your saliva dry and you cannot get what you need. Right now, those guys, I am not there, so I really can't, I'm still assuming, but those guys, when I left, Those guys didn't have simple things as couplings and elbows. These are things you buy out of your own pockets just so people can get access to water. And a lot of that was done after Hurricane Irma. We spent our own money to make sure this community had what they needed to get access to water. So to me, it is unfair to the guys who go above and beyond to make sure that the community is retrofitted with what they need. Some of the issues, they don't have control over it. They have no control over those issues. And next thing I think too, the government in the budget, there is no line item for Virgin Gorda, Anegada, Jos Van Dyke. They need to have a line item, whether under Premier's office or under communication and works, or let's say water and sewage, for instance, right? Whether you have a line item for Anegada, 20,000, Virgin Gorda, 40,000, Jos Van Dyke, 10,000. You know, just have a line item as to how the monies will be dispensed for each one of those islands, because when you have $1 million and most of that $1 million goes to Tortola, nothing is being done on either of those islands. Anegada has one worker, one. Jos Van Dyke has two.
Not cutting you, but it is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. And the reason I'm saying that is, unless it is that you get it legislated or you have somebody from the sister islands in a position of power and they are not afraid to use it, and I am using the word power loosely, because every department head and every minister, when they're formulating a budget, they can create a cost center for Sister Island. When I walked into the tourist board, there were not those line items in there. We put a line item in that said, okay, you're responsible for beaches, you're the product officer for beaches, you have to go to Anegada, Virgin Gorda, and Jos Van Dyke once a month. You put it in the budget, this is how much the boat costs, this is how much the food costs, this is how much the taxi costs. Right now, government agencies and department heads will tell you, well, Sharon, you know, I really should come to Virgin Gorda to check this thing, but I can't come because we ain't got no money to buy the ticket. And that is the reality of the situation.
We need to have a proper boat system to go to Anegada. For years, I've been living here now, about 25 years now, and sometimes it works properly and then sometimes it's atrocious, especially when they have the little boat running and you have people going across just for the day, the tourists. You know, it's a frightening experience when the tide is high, and I've heard people say that, you know, they'll never go back there. So we really need to get that boat system functioning properly.
A Medivac for Anegada and Virgin Gorda, and helping to revamp the EMTs, the fire station, or the firefighters EMT van, and the outfitting of the clinic so it could be run expeditiously. Another thing I think probably, if it can be done, it's something we do in the U.S., have a free legal aid service or social development service for the 9th district.
We have 5 doctors, 5 full-time doctors in Virgin Gorda, but yet if people go to the clinic in the evening, no doctor is there. If we go to the clinic on weekends, the on-call doctors will not come in most times. And I struggle to be okay with that as a citizen, as a mother, because I see it with children, and personally, I've had to go in myself on behalf of other people and essentially stomp my heels to either get a doctor to come in to look at someone or to get them the necessary paperwork to get them out of Virgin Gorda because they can't be serviced. And I don't think it should be this hard.
security throughout the community. Like, I don't think we have the best service from what we're getting from the police on the island. I don't think we're getting the best service from the police on the island with security throughout the community. The other thing is like youth development. Like, I would say we have a few delinquent youths on the road. If there's some way that we could work on getting these children into getting the children into programs and more activities for the youths, I think that would help a lot with the children getting better youths on the island.
I think we also need to look at solid waste as a priority. Right now, there's a fly infestation on the island. When I inquired, the story was that somebody was on vacation, the backhoe didn't belong to one particular department or whatever, but at the end of the day, what was solid waste doing? Very reactively, they said, well, we could give you fly bait. That's something that's a very simple fix. And if we're talking about raising monies, I think a priority as well too would be to get ourselves set up either in a foundation or NGO status where we can get involved in public-private sector partnerships. And especially from the American standpoint, there's, if it is that they donate to certain charities or foundations, it's tax exempt. So it may make sense for us to try to get that status as a priority item.
I think litter is a really big problem on the island right now. And it got really bad after Irma. And we did the big cleanups. But there seems to be a problem with those of us who live here continuing to litter. And I keep a track of where I go for my daily walks. And I pick up trash. Used to be every week after Irma. Then it was every couple weeks once I started getting more and more done. Now I can do it about once a month. But it's always recent trash. It's not Irma anymore.
It's a pet peeve of mine. But I think we need to really pay attention on the recycling. Every time I go past a bin, right beside it is a plastic water bottle. That's another thing. I don't think we should be bringing all these water bottles in. But I think we need to be made to recycle. I don't think it should be voluntary anymore. That we are bringing in, loads and loads and loads of water bottles. And I think it's unnecessary.
And the road on the top above Hanson Bay, there are two bumps out. One immediately opposite the water plant road that goes up the hill, and then there's the next one. And I always get concerned if I see a bus or a vehicle parked on the second one, the one immediately opposite the road coming down the hill. Now there's a crack in that road where the grass is growing. And about a year and a half ago, that crack was about 1 inch wide. It's now over 4 inches wide. That wall is leaning out by 14 inches the last time I checked it. I check it by hanging a string from it. Yeah, the one at the top, the one that is closest to the valley. That wall is going to go one day. How soon, I don't know. It's moving faster every year.
The reason that I'm saying is that I tend to get very frustrated because that particular crack was pointed out to the head of Public Works. Let's see, I started at the Tourist Board 2013, so must have been 2014 or 2015. And nothing was done. So here it is, we're now 10 years down the road, and it's an even bigger problem. I mean, I'll be honest, when I drive by there, I kind of try to drive a little bit kind of in the middle, because it only takes one little thing for one morning you wake up, just like what happened at Mango Bay. where everybody went to sleep one night and the next morning, piece of Katichi Point was on top of Giorgio's restaurant. And as I'm saying it because I spoke to Public Works about it. And the unfortunate thing is the person from Public Works was one of our very own people, Jose de Castro. And nothing happened. And now he's out of Public Works, so it's probably not even on anybody's radar.
I actually got the Public Works to put cones on the road there to keep people away from that edge 3 years ago. The cones disappeared and nothing else has happened, but it's definitely moving. And it's moving faster every week, or every year.
And then there's a second crack as well. There's a second crack on the Nail Bay Road. When you pass Maho Bay, and before you get to Nail Bay, if you can't see it really when you're driving, but if in the road there, and on the other side, it's just near the area where Lydia has her gardens. There's nothing but a cliff there. So there's a secondary problem. So I know we talk about reaching out and writing. I think the first letter needs to be a letter to the cabinet saying we need for them to come and sit in front of us. If it is that they are not in a position to come and sit in front of us, then we know that it's just a lot of talking. This election season, we talked a lot about the 9th district and the challenges of the 9th district. So I'm saying that all of them who were elected, who are in the cabinet, should not be, quote unquote, afraid to come and sit and have a discussion with us. Or as Chris pointed out in the chat, maybe we need to do like what Fletcher did. Stay, just sit in, get our blankets and pillows and whatever, and get on the boat and go and sit at in front of the House of Assembly, so that people will take us seriously, because I've been talking since I came home from college. That's 1985, and I'm still talking.
I think the bank, we need another bank in Virgin Gorda. This 3-day service is putting us behind. We behind the cat before the horse, because we ain't getting no service. You go in the Gorda, if you don't work with cash, you don't have an ATM machine. And the Gorda left behind, and the Gorda is one of our top priority. We need a banking system over there. No credit card machine. We are watching Gorda 3 days. 21st century. 21st century, we behind. We need a banking system for 5 days a week. How you could pay workers 3 days out a week to communicate Virgin Gorda? With all the businesses that are in Virgin Gorda now, check the money that's going to the Treasury from all these entities or businesses in the North Sound area. We behind, you know. We all are behind. We got to make a stand for the businesses and small businesses, Wawa Berry, Spring Bay, Oil Nut Bay, Little Licks, whatever. Those businesses, Sabre Rock, Bitter End. We need more improvement. Our district is behind. Why we can't be in front? 3 days a week? Man, we gotta stop this stripping this.
There's an article, I don't know how many of you have read it. I need my glasses for this. In Business BVI magazine, and it speaks to the housing market and sales, non-belonger sales of properties or land in the BVI, and more specific to the 9th district. And I will simply read from this excerpt. The house market is dominated by sales under 1 million, which comprise 85% of total house sales as shown in chart 4, with 254 homes sold in this price category since 2018. This chart, which includes house sales in the luxury destinations of Oil Nut Bay, Little Dix Bay, and Mosquito Island indicates that 10% of house sales, 31 transactions in total, are between 1.0 million and 2.0 million, with just 5% of house sales in excess of 2 million. The data indicates that the market peaked in 2020 with the sale of 67 houses in the sub $1 million category, followed by 57 sales in 2021 and 31 sales through to September 2022. The number of sales above 1 million increased in 2020 and 2021 as the market for damaged homes receded and more normal market conditions returned. Excluding the years 2018 and 19, which reflect a market dominated by the sale of damaged property, there is a small change in the percentage, with 82% of house sales below 1 million in the period 2020 to September 2022. And I just wanted to say that most of those sales are in the 9th district. Where is that money? What have we seen out of that money? If, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 12% or 12.5% has to be paid for the non-belonger landholders to pay for that land. And so, are we getting our fair share of the revenue in the 9th district?
Now, according to the organizers, a similar forum is in the making for Anegada. Now for Digicel Sports Calendar.
I'm Digicel brand ambassador Dean, the Sportsman Greenaway. What's going on? VG Heat and Power Outage will kick off action in the Virgin Islands Softball Baseball Association League on Friday at the E. Walwyn Brewley Softball Park. Saturday at 6, it's Sparks and Lady Wings, and at 8, West End Warriors and Problems. Sunday at 5, West Mobsters against the Pirates, and at 7, Storm against Albion's Hotshots. And coming up in road racing, the curtains will come down on the Trident Trust 5K Series on Saturday. The race starts at 7 a.m. at the A.O. Shirley grounds and circumnavigate Road Town. Runners are asked to be at the track by 6:30 to get their numbers and do their final warm-ups. Registration is in progress at webscorer.com. Awards will be doled out after the race.
The course will be flat and fast. We'll basically up and down the dual carriageway. They're going up to Port Purcell, round Port Purcell roundabout, back down by the banks, and then come back onto the main road and finish back on the track. It's the fastest course we've got. This is the one to set records.
And coming up in the BVI Football Association League, the fight for the BVI Football Association Men's National League President's Cup will begin at 6:30 on Saturday when One Love hosts Virgin Gorda United in Greenland. On Sunday at 6:30, the Virgin Gorda Sugar Boys will host the World Youth. The winners from both games will meet on May 21st for the President's Cup. That's the Digicel SportsMax Sports Calendar. I'm brand ambassador Dean, the Sportsman Greenaway. You want to get something you are doing covered in sports? Hit me up at 340-3545.
We urge you to continue to follow us here and on our other social media platforms, including our website, jahphix@television.com. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Front Row. I'm Kathy Richards.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
Opiate. Hi, I'm Cowboy, and I'm running for president of Stake. Thank you. And I will meet your needs. Some bathrooms are so expensive to build, they come with security. But at Staycation Butchers, our meats are affordable. People always ask me, Cowboy, where does your salmon come from? Well, our salmon comes from the water. A vote for Cowboy is a vote for quality, integrity, and consistency. So come into Staycation Butchers and cast your vote for me, your next president of Steak. Alexandra Durant approves this message.
No, I don't.